Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, let me bring it up a little bit. There we go. That's much better. Welcome, everybody, to Simulation Talk 291. What's up, Jay? Good to have you with us. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to start the core stage. There we go. Welcome to everybody on TikTok who's slowly coming in. Good to see you too, Jay. Slowly we'll let people come in. I don't know. Did it not notify people or something? Or maybe on Discord. Maybe Guru was busy today, and that's okay. What's up, Cores? Ada. Jesus Christ. That's funny. What's up, Maverick Star? Well, I guess we'll let people slowly come in. Let's make sure we have our website up. Beautiful. If you guys want to follow along from Twitch to help the channel, it'll be LaserX83 on Twitch. Come and help us there. Deft. How are you, Deft? Took more pics and still working on the video. I think the speckle moved because a faint vibration in the ground. Yeah, but it was moving in one direction. It wasn't moving back and forth. It was kind of flowing, which is interesting. Am I part of the Illuminati? Shit. They're on to us. Send everybody. You got Hira Kiho is on to us. Send everybody. What? No, of course I'm not. What are you talking about? What is the Illuminati? Illumin. How do you pronounce it? I don't know even what you're talking about, sir. Love must have a shape. Lurv. Why would it have a shape? Have you heard about the creation will come closest on October 29th, I believe. No, I don't know what that is. Weekends play hard to get. If you guys want to, anybody has any fun ideas that they want to bring up and they want to discuss, feel free to do so on our Discord. On the stage, you can go ahead and join. Stage is open. Do you believe there's a universe inside of us? If you mean your perceptual, wait, what? Your perceptual universe? Yes, universe of perception. Is it the same universe you're talking about, like as in like a universe? I don't know. I do not know. Because it's a pattern in the brain. Well, no, then the shape wouldn't be of love. It would be the arrangement of the electrical signals in your brain. But that's not what love is. Love is, you can say that the expression of these neurons in this way makes you feel that way, including all the chemicals present. But that doesn't what make love what love is. They are saying Atlantis is bigger than they thought. Who is they? What are we talking about? Let's be specific. Do you think that the universe is truly not just a universal amalgamation of consciousness or a mind of a god, but instead that we're really all in just a kind of pepperoni slice. We are on a sausage floating in infinity inside of a whole donut hole. So we're definitely inside of food items. I don't know about pepperoni slice. Yeah, so there's only one way to find out, Deft. We're going to have to investigate this deeper. I think that divine feeling like love have a consistent pattern in the brain because there are electrical signals that correspond to feelings. Yes, but all emotions do, not just love. Hey, Danny, I saw the notice on Core about the pre-built laser being back ordered of some sort, or yeah. So we actually shipped all the orders that were, or Carter shipped all the orders that were up until this moment. So we shipped them today. I think if you order now, it shouldn't take that long. We figured out how to get these diodes even with tariffs. We just order a lot less of them every time. So you can order them. I think we might discontinue laser shipment for now for other countries. We'll see. But if you're in the US, I think you're pretty safe to order it. And again, your money is not going to go to waste. If something goes wrong, and or you all of a sudden decide that you change your mind or whatever, just email me. We'll refund you. We don't have a. Our aim is, this is actually not a way for us. We don't really make money this way. It's just more like a service that we're doing. It's not in terms of like how much time it takes and the whatever profit margin there is. It's not a very lucrative undertaking. But if you want to order, by all means, I think it's safe. And if there's an issue, we'll always refund you. So there's never really any danger there. Saturation of spiritual ideas on the internet, creating apathy to information from the outside. That's real and not necessarily a bad thing. The kingdom is within, is what we are told. Could be a good thing. I don't disagree with any of that. So, what do you think about the April 2026 date that is going around from Mr. Chris Bledsoe? The new knowledge will be revealed to humans. I think about that the same thing. I think about all the around the cornerism. Bull crap. But do I believe Jews run the world? No, I believe that anybody states such things is extremely ignorant and actually also not paying attention. So a little bit dumb. Right, but maybe the totality of what love is in the brain. There's divine symbolism. I agree that love would have some kind of a signature that has a universal component to it. But the brain is not what is going to be expressing a unique pattern of itself, no more than any other emotion. And by the way, I actually don't think that fundamentally everything is love. I think that love is a particular thing that exists. It's almost like a safe channel, but not in any kind of like a ultimate sense. I know it's a very pleasant idea, but I don't think that's the case. I'm on record saying that I think actually that emotion would be equanimity. That would be a much closer emotion to, I think, a universal property. I'm Jesus, the sun, and hell, the moon, and heaven anyway. I'm the only one who can baptize and save people. Good for you. All right, so if I see one more of those messages, you'll be bent. I want this nonsense here. Okay. What's up, Nico? How you doing, brother? Evil icon. What's up, Terry? And brought up thermophysics. Hope everyone is well. Going back to Boston next month. No way! That's amazing. There's going to be a second one. That's incredible. Are you going to be volunteering or are you going to be sitting this one? Awesome, Jake. Using love as an example because it is said to be divine. I know it's said, but I don't buy it. Love is all there is. No, look. See? It's because my cameras. See this? This is dental floss. That's not love. So I guess maybe you can say there's love in dental floss. Maybe you're right. Maybe there's love in dental floss. Love and dental floss. It's all there is. You can quote me on that. Thank you, never don't. If love is independent of the brain, please explain how it best way that you can. I don't. So all I'm saying is that I wouldn't put love in a special status. Look at how bright it got behind me. If you believe that there's content to consciousness outside of the brain, which I believe as well, then I wouldn't put love in a special position. It would just be one more thing that exists, and then the brain picks up on it, kind of like a radio receiver, so to speak. Thank you so much, Chris. Oh, Chris. Trying to go through the comments quickly. What's up, Ebony? So good to see you. Do I enjoy Robert Anton Wilson's work? Yeah, I think he's very funny. Thank you, Ebony, for the reminder. And thank you, Inky, for joining from Discord, from Twitch. And this is a reminder for everybody, if you want to follow from Twitch, please do. It really helps. Please go to LaserX83 on Twitch. That's my handle there, LaserX83 on Twitch. And follow from there. It really helps the channel. Anything seen with different frequencies or colors of laser? Good question. No, the code seems to be exactly the same. What's up, my Brighton? Jessica, how are you doing? Have you experimented with adding some harmony into molecule? I don't think it matters what you add. The code will be the same. But feel free to try and let me know. Stimulated dental floss, indeed. I want to do service at Vipassana, but only if I'm going to get the same from it. Well, if you think about it for a second, Terry, Vipassana is not just about the your practice, but also about the service. In fact, this is something that maybe it's kind of easy to forget because there's a lot that is being said about while you're doing the retreat. But something that is mentioned in what Goenka is saying in these evening sessions is that part of your journey on the path is actually the dana that you give. So aside from donations that you might give at the end, dana is also the service that you provide for others. So you're not going to get the same kind of experience if you go and volunteer, but you're going to get a different kind of experience that is also part of the path. That experience will allow you to actually bring all the practice that you have been working on into the service that you're providing for others that are going through the experiment, through the experience. And that is fulfilling on a whole other level. There's also a level of bonding and connecting to the community in a different way. I highly recommend it. I made some of my best friends this way. Have I tried more tests with laser on my end? Yeah, doing them all the time. I mean, not all the time, but every time I do them, we record them. It's all going to be in the film. We do have some interesting things that came up, and next month, this upcoming month, we're going to have a few tests that are going to be very interesting. Lab is more real than simulated items. That's cool. Simulated dental floss made with love. Exactly. I'm having a difficult time grasping the claim that love is all there is. It seems new age to me. No, it's just nonsensical. I mean, it's beautiful, but it's nonsensical. Of course, it's not all there is. I think love is creative force in the universe, but I don't think that's all there is. Again, love and dental floss, fellas and ladies. Love and dental floss. Love and dental floss must be the most confusing t-shirt you can ever wear. Just explain nothing. Just put it on the t-shirt. Dante's Divine Commedia shows us that love is the unifying force of the universe and imagination is the animation force of the universe. I would have assumed you were on board with this thought process. That is not the same as saying as love is all there is. Good to see you too, Ebony. Did I miss the answer to the ultimate question? It is 42. So we can all go home. I don't think that love is all there is, but I suspect it holds atoms together. Yeah, I don't even know what that means. Jay made me think of the song "What Is Love." Baby, don't hurt me. Beauty, truth, resonant desire. Yeah, I think harmony, equanimity. These are way more important than what people would call love. But I do know that love is a safe channel in which beings can actually meet each other from their respective sandboxes. Love and dental floss is a t-shirt, for sure. I recall someone mentioning your findings on JRE, but didn't elaborate. Oh, wait. Would the second Jesus know he's Jesus? Maybe no. That would be hilarious. That's a great film. It's like the second coming is basically a dude that doesn't even know that he's Jesus, and he's just kind of doing his thing. That'll be like Mr. Magoo Jesus. Mr. McJesus. I'm sure many have asked, but have you tried going on JRE or maybe Duncan Trussell? So I'm not trying actively to go on any podcasts. I appreciate the question, but it seems to be like I'm guided to not do that kind of stuff. So it's like whatever comes is the right moment, is the right time. I'm not really promoting too much. I'm making myself available. Whatever is right will happen, and that's what I believe, and that's how we go about it. Yes, Joe mentioned it a couple of times. Eddie Bravo came to look at the laser. I was on his podcast because he invited me, and he also came to look at the laser. And he said that Joe wanted to do it, the laser experiment. But considering the fact that Joe is one of the busiest people on the planet, I'm pretty sure it's going to take a while. Maybe we're closer to when the movie comes out, it will happen. But I'm not actively going to be reaching out, just because it seems to be going against the way of the Tao, and I'm trying to follow the way of the Tao. But thank you for the question. What's up, Fabio Costa? I love the name. The laser is true. You're asking me if you mean the laser experiment? Yes, it is true. Going back so soon because I have not kept up on the practice, and the old ways tries coming back. So I need to cleanse. Yeah, I need to get to the fullest out of it. help the homeless often currently. That's amazing. So first of all, that's great to hear, Terry. And also, I'll tell you, you're not the only one. It usually takes people a few retreats before they start maintaining the practice for a year and over. So you're not alone. It's pretty common. When I say love, what I'm referring to, Buddhists call metta. Yeah, I think I understand. But again, I just don't think in ultimate terms when it comes to practical matters, depending on how you want to have the conversation. If you want to have some deep conversation about, the nature of reality, we can talk about these elements of reality. But I would say, but even there, you might want to be a little bit more specific because these terms are very not well defined, even when you're saying metta. It's, yes, you can say you you emanate love towards all living beings, but I think that what reality is trying to do is both to experience and understand at the same time, or at least that's what I'm interested in. So, oh, I didn't even check Discord. What's up, Chris? If anybody on Discord wants to come on and chat, please go to Discord now and raise your hand. But yeah, Duncan Trussell will be a great podcast for sure. If somebody wants to pitch him my appearance, I'll be forever grateful. I love Duncan. All emotions are great. There you go. Loads of synchronicities. Awesome. It's like, yes, you're on the right path. I love synchronicities. I agree. Duncan Trussell is amazing. What's up, eyes wide open? What was the story? Oh, you would love this, Nico. I just forget exact details. The guy that I was telling you about, my friend Tony, we were talking today, and he told me some crazy story about one of the guys. He told me the story about, because we were talking about the AI derangement syndrome, and he was saying that the guy who invested in OpenAI originally, one of the main guys, maybe you even know this, he basically kind of disappeared from the public sphere for a while, and now he came back and like I think started putting things on X, and like they're just like deranged, like the people are being replaced by replicas of what the system wants, things like this. Like he's saying it seriously. It's kind of crazy. I bet you're gonna have some people here who would bite. Yeah, psychosis. Will I ever come to Vegas? Why do you ask? Jay saying, I strongly disagree with all the gurus that claim love is all there is and that we should only look within, neglecting empirical knowledge and truth. I'm much closer to this to your camp, Jay. It doesn't mean that I don't think we should. We absolutely should, because it will determine largely how we behave in the world and therefore what kind of physical occurrences we bring into the world more often than not. However, pretending like there's no walls, there's no laws of physics, I mean, I think it's just silly at best. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so I don't really do that. Never don't. I don't really like go around and like show people like on a tour of that kind. Maybe one day we'll do that, but currently that's not a thing. But anybody who wants to try and wants to send us a report, or I see, never done. When there's a thing, there's a yang. I think you meant to say ying, But the Thing is actually even better somehow. Ebony's saying, I don't think it should be an either or. To looking inwards, it should be as well. Indeed. Who's to say what crazy is? Look. That was crazy. Where there's a yin, there's a yang. Okay, well, thank you for the clarification. That was also crazy. Isn't that what this is supposed to be about? Breaking down the matrix? None at all. See, this is interesting. That the presupposition that people have when they hear simulation, they immediately think it's what they saw in the movie. It is nowhere written that what the computational environment that we live in is, which is everything, is a prison or something to break out of. Nobody said that. It's an idea that was planted in your brain by Hollywood. And of course, it's fine because without that, there would be no movie. And that's a great film. I love the film. But we don't live in a prison. Like the simulation just means that it's a computationally rendered environment. But it does not mean you have to escape it, break it, hack it. None of these things. It just means that we understand that at the bottom of what reality is doing, it is computational and it is not what we think is physical. And I'm adding the fact that there are actual simulators, but you still want to engage with the empirical questions the way they were, which is how do they bring about the worlds? How do their GPUs look like? Like those are the questions that come up. It's if they wanted it to be a complete secret, it would be. It's not like there was some kind of they made a mistake, so we discovered this kind of way of observing it. No. This was left there on purpose for you to find, so you can start understanding the deeper levels of reality. Crazy is a judgment. You might try to avoid that. Wait, who said crazy? What are we talking about? The earth is not round. We live on a sausage. How many times do I have to say this, guys? The earth is a sausage. The only real question is it in a bun or not in a bun? That we don't know yet. We're still investigating. But we definitely live on a sausage. That has been proven. I just saw something saying qubits can't be cloned because to measure it is to destroy it and immediately going back to superposition. Right. Well, qubit is not a thing. That would be. I would start there. Qubit is an occurrence. It's an interaction between decoherence and the infinite possibility space of the wave function. In a bun? Well, if Ebony said so, it's in a bun, folks. Eat the earth, baby. Huh. Interesting. Jessica is saying it's hyperspheroid on the back of a torus, on the back of another torus, and it's turtles all the way down. But just to be clear, it's not like not a tortoise. like a torus, like the shape that then sits on top of a bunch of turtles, actual turtles. Is it on the turtle's head or the back? Those are important questions. Are not more people in this live? I don't know. I think TikTok is shadow banning us. I've been on almost every night, Barbara. Where have you been? Aw, I missed you too. Thank you so much. Makes me feel good. I don't know turtles all the way down. Yeah, but I'm asking: is the torus on the head of the first turtle or on the back? That's an important question. There you go. Ebony created an illustration of this, but you forgot dot 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 at the end of the turtles to illustrate that it's an infinite set. It's not a meme from the brief history of time. It is a very old idea. Wait, crap comes after? That would be interesting. I like this image though. But then there's but the Earth is this is the universe, which I agree with. The Earth is a sausage, obviously. People joining now, they're like, "What are you talking about?" Panthesis saying UAP show us that there's a way to hack it. I'm interested in figuring out how to master reality by finding its nature. And my mind goes to the divine and meta. I think gravity is the final boss. Good luck, man. Thank you so much, Ebony. Even though now, because there's not three dot dot dots, there's a lot of them. Now it just looks like the fourth turtle is just pooping a bunch, which I think kind of goes into your crap theory. Like if crap comes after the fourth turtle, then this illustration is spot on. Rounded Frankfurt. There you go. Hold on one second. All right, let's see if we can get into a couple of or a few questions real quick. Any good wizard knows. Boom. Oh, Nico is in the house. Invite him just in case. Just in Kasi. What up, brother?
Dude, I think if you sell lasers on the TikTok shop, they'll unshadow ban you.
They might. Or maybe the live just sucks, honestly. Maybe that's the reason. Like, you know how everybody who their content just is not good, they're like, I'm shadow banned. I'm shadow banned. So maybe that's what it is. Which end of the sausage are you? The right one. Oh, Ebony said maybe reality is a pomegranate, and my dyslexia read maybe reality is a propaganda. Both are very funny. Maybe reality is a propaganda. It's all a lie, man. I tell you, it's all a lie. Who do I sound like? Everybody on the internet. It's so funny sometimes. I always, I always envision, people who are like pissed off at the world and think everything is crumbling and falling apart and burning, and they're like on their phone on like social media and like making a comment about whatever they think is like everything is messed up and capitalism, whatever. And then I always envision them kind of like, doing the comment and sending it, and they're like, there. And then they go back to licking their ice cream. They're just like, in like McDonald's or something. I love you people. You are crazy. That's just somebody should make that. This is great. Actually, now you can probably just do it with AI. What's that tool with the? I mean, there's a bunch of them, but like, what is that Google tool that just creates worlds? What's the name of it?
Oh, I forget what it's called. Have you played with it? I haven't played with it yet.
No, is it available? Let's
I
see.
think they have a beta release.
What is the name of the new Google tool that creates worlds?
They should call it Many Worlds.
They should. The new Google tool that creates worlds is named Genie 3. All right. Can I use Genie 3 for free or for payment now? Generative AI model Genie 3, developed by Google DeepMind, is not currently available to the public. It is experimental technology still in the research and testing phase. The name Genie can be confusing as it is also used for a few other commercial products. All right. I mean, it's not that confusing, but... Oh, you tried it, Ebony? How did you manage to try it? Wait, trying to make NX account? Help me, people. I don't know what these things mean. What is NX? Oh, you mean like an X account? Is that what you meant to say? Positively pineapple. I just had some ice cream. There you go, Sierra. Because I only followed one person. GCO. Man, I don't think there's anybody on the planet that sucks at acronyms more than I do. Like, even if they're very obvious, my brain just refuses to engage with them. What is GCN? DM, I know. All right. It's the one I know. What if the universe is a commercial? Did you ever think about that? It's all just one giant commercial.
Rick and Morty.
This is just a commercial. At the end is like they're selling shampoo or something.
The most elaborate commercial for Head and Shoulders.
For the universe dandruff. There is this like brilliant, now they're doing these commercials like disguised as a kind of like little fun facts videos. I think I sent you the one with the Indian restaurant. Did you see that one?
I don't remember that one actually.
The best. I'm gonna send it to you if I haven't.
Like fake podcasts. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I mean they do them all the time now.
Yeah.
Gavin Christian.
It's very effective because I engaged in it.
Is it really? Wait, is it really Gavin Christian Newsom, or you just because then what? Do you think I would figure this out? That would suck if it was just a commercial. First time I partook, the molecule told me there is more than a commercial. This is a commercial for plastic. George Carlin called it. Yep.
You should end the film. You should end the film in like a spirit molecule commercial.
And that's how we get banned all over the world. Can I get a link to the Discord, or do I have to Patreon? No, you can easily join. If you go to the main YouTube page, It's the third link from the top of all the socials.
Actually, like, you know those like 1980s like infomercials? Like the film should end that way.
That we give you a set of knives.
Like a laser, get the next laser free.
It's just like, yeah, it's like, and if you guys enjoyed this movie, you can buy these lasers right now for and if you buy now, we give you a set of knives that can cut through shoes. Wait, what? How many is here feel it is spiritual? Oh, okay, got it. You mean the universe? The universe is. I actually don't know what these things mean, and I do mean, like, I do mean this. Like, I don't know what that means. What does that mean to say the universe is spiritual? You mean there's a spiritual growth in the universe? The universe is on a spiritual path. What do you mean by the universe is spiritual? Can you guys, Ebony? Can you help, Ebony or Guru? Can you guys put the Discord link for Pantheist 46 and 2? Nice, awesome. Spiritual means intuition. That's a definition I've never heard before. You got it, brother. I got my connection back to God, Jesus, was very funny and uplifting. It was funny? How was it funny? That's interesting. I think it's science, but because we don't have the knowledge to understand, we call it spiritual. I think there's a spiritual component to the experience itself, but ultimately it works on some rules. These rules are technical and they're computational. My intuition is that this simulation sucks. Well, then your intuition is correct for you. That means inevitably that your simulation sucks. I hope you develop a new intuition about it being awesome. There you go. You're the one saying this experience is beautiful and amazing. Interestingly, I have more spiritual experience with Changa than I do with the spirit molecule. I don't think it's weird. I think it's kind of like how it is. I feel there's interesting masculine feminine energy between the two. That's an interesting thought. It said I could get it unlocked if I verified my identity. I thought that was sus. You felt it was suspicious that the platform that is trying to prevent fraud asked you to verify your identity? Oh, Chris, thank you so much for gifting memberships. I appreciate you, brother. Awesome. So come to the stage. You can come to the stage. I don't know if I see you. Oh, I see you. If you want to talk, just raise your hand and I can bring you on. Chris, I appreciate you, brother. Huh?
Shipper?
Yeah, there you go.
Hi.
How you doing, brother?
How's it going?
Good, good.
So, when I first heard of your or saw your talk about the DMT laser and the symbols in it, I kind of assumed that maybe you had a goal in mind to make something material to kind of substantiate the phenomenon. And so that's why I was like talking about gravity and shit. I'm just wondering if that is something that would ever occur to you, or a thought that you ever had to like make something material or reality breaking in some kind of way.
Yeah, we're working on exactly that.
Yeah, that's all I had to add.
Yeah. No, you just. I think was it you that said that you think that love is that love holds atoms together?
Yeah, that's all.
You saw it. You said it, right?
Danny, you're muted.
Oh, sorry. I thank you. Yeah.
I couldn't hear you talk. I'm trying not to get feedback on the YouTube thing. Yeah, I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about divinity and sort of reapproaching my spirituality. I don't know if that's the case, but I have like I said, a suspicion that love might be more than just a feeling.
Maybe, but it definitely doesn't hold atoms together. But what? So I don't know if you heard me or not, because I was muted apparently. But I said that what you said about trying to substantiate this, yeah, it's exactly what we're working on. It's just that it's not an easy undertaking. It's very difficult to make progress in real terms. Yeah. There's a lot of ideas, but if you want to make real progress, you have to put it to the test, and that's where rubber meets the road, and that's where most projects fail, because it's actually very hard. And yeah, I mean, eventually, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get something, but for now, it's all ideas. I think magnetism might actually yield some results. Gravity, I don't really know how you experiment with it, because in order to influence gravity in any meaningful way, you need technologies that are currently beyond us. And I know some people believe they're not beyond us, but anybody is welcome to demonstrate this. Otherwise, it's just people saying things, and that's very easy to do.
Well, I was looking at the Parrot report, and I was wondering if you gave any credence to it, because like it seems like the UAP and you alluded to UAP and that whole thing having a correlation with your DMT diffracted symbology.
Oh yeah, like, symbology looks similar, yeah, but not UAP in general. Just that Carrot report, it kind of looks the same. But like I said in the thing, I don't even know if it's real or not. Like I don't know if the report is real or not. Some people say it's absolutely real. Some people say no, it's absolutely fake. I don't care either way. What I mean is that the result would have to look like something that somebody made and it works. Not a Terrence Howard story about how he did billion things that he never did, and then he's not showing them aside from illustration. So it just needs to be something very robust that works, repeats. There needs to be an understanding of it. I don't even know why it's so. Oh, look at that, beautiful. I don't even know why it's so hard for people to see that that's, until something works, it's just all nonsense. Like people, the reason we have the scientific method is exactly for this reason, because people say all kinds of shit all the time.
Well, here's a shift in my perspective recently is I heard someone say this, and I couldn't help but think it's true, that the scientific method is nothing ever great came from the scientific. No great discovery has been a result of the scientific method. It's all been intuition and sort of spiritual. And I just it wasn't like rigorous method for these great scientific paradigms that we've discovered.
You can say that you can be inspired to understand something. There are moments of like eureka, like with the double helix of the DNA, things like this. But no, they're not the thing in full. It's, you still have to work and substantiate the idea. You have to test it very rigorously. I'm familiar with the trope, but if it's expressed in this very like simple way of like, well, first of all, these ultimates, right? It's like nothing is discovered through the scientific method. No, everything is. All of it. Everything you're using right now, you would not have been ever been able to build a laptop on intuition alone. That will never happen, because the level of specificity that you need.
The great discoveries that find the paradigm. Yes, the scientific method is used to verify them, but not the coming upon the great discoveries has not been a result of that rigor.
The input to a scientific method is a hypothesis, and that is typically a human input, right? Which can come from your imagination, and But the scientific method is actually a feedback loop, right? So you verify your hypothesis, and then you develop your hypothesis further.
I'm down with that. I just
Yeah. So my intuition, and I'm not saying this about you. I really don't. I want to be super clear. I'm not like a roundabout kind of person. So I'm not saying this about you right now. But the people who tend to invoke this trope of like scientific method thinks too much of itself. Basically, is the idea. Something tells me that the majority of it is basically just inability to play that game. So the next best move is to shit on the game. So it's basically like, oh, I'm not smart enough to understand any of this, so I'm just going to say it's responsible for nothing. That's to me, it's a much more plausible explanation of why people say things like this. Because the truth is that people devote their lives, very smart and also very well-meaning people that put their entire life on the line to work the hardest that any human can work so that others get to actually enjoy a better world. And then people come later with, it's not that they don't have the ability. The truth is that for the most part, they're just lazy. They don't want to try and understand. And then because they now live in this infinitely amazing world that the people who worked really hard made happen. And then instead of feeling grateful, they use the tools that were built for them, not by them, to shit on the people who built the tools that made their life 1,000 times better. So the absurdity of the situation should hit people a little bit. It's like the fact that you have walls around you, there's a roof, there's a stability to the structure. The fact that we are outside of the food chain and we don't have to worry about being eaten or where you're going to get your food tomorrow. Now, obviously, this is not the whole world, but at least in the Western world, all of that is thanks to at least the scientific way of thinking. Like, how do we solve problems? How would you think of it like in a structured way?
yeah.
Yeah.
I am not trying to come from that frame, but I am. If there's one thing that I have trouble with is this materialist worldview.
Why?
Well, I just think it alienates us from each other, and I just don't think it's ultimately true.
I don't think it is what alienates us. The alienation comes from a choice that people make. If you choose that the physicalist story would alienate you, that's what's going to happen. But what made the alienation happen is you, not the story. So, like, to me, there's nothing more beautiful than the fact that there is something that exists that is on its own right a thing, and we exist in some relationship to it. And every time we understand it, there's a little wink that happens from the other side, and it's a beautiful moment of connection. To me, there's nothing more beautiful than that. That's a choice I'm making to view the story this way. All humans do is make up stories. So the idea that some story makes alienation happen is just wrong. The alienation happens because of a choice that people make about that story. There's nothing intrinsic that is alienating about the physicalist perspective. You can say, which would be true, by the way, that ultimately, even from the most rigorous scientific perspective, whatever the world is at bottom is not what we call physical. That's true. That, by the way, that's irrefutable. That's not even debated anywhere. Like, nobody seriously taking the scientific method thinks that the world at bottom is physical. But that's completely besides the point. That doesn't make you any more or less part or connected or disconnected from the world. It's just a fact about the world. It's not what you call physical. However, without considering the world as physical, you can't do certain things in the time frame that is relevant. Because if you have to do an engineering project, talking about like regular engineering, not software engineering, if you have to do an engineering project and you have to think of materials and what they are and the consistency and how they interact with different temperatures and different pressure points and all of that, but you're going to think about it from a perspective of like, well, man, it's all one, good luck. All buildings would collapse tomorrow. So like the physicalist perspective is really useful to do certain things. And then you can say, well, okay, but I think that quantum physics gets us closer to what reality really is at bottom. That's true. And in quantum physics, things are not this like physical thing, or at least in quantum field theory, it's like these infinite fields that exist. Fine. Is it more true? Well, it's a more fundamental layer of reality that we're talking about, that we have some ideas about. And we use these ideas to probe reality on that level to see if we're even like in the ballpark of being correct. And it seems that to some degree we are. But then we can utilize that to then build new materials, understand things even deeper, build even a better world. But on the level of emergence of where we operate, the physicalist perspective is all you know and all you will ever know. So like it doesn't eliminate the possibility of your spiritual growth. It doesn't prevent you from thinking about ourselves as a unified consciousness. None of it is somehow leaves the picture because you said that you're looking at the world, at least the physical world, as as a something that exists outside of your ability to directly influence with your mind, so to speak. So I don't think those are I'm trying to keep always myself in the most middle path kind of way of viewing things and the most neutral I possibly can, because I think that's the only way we're going to make progress. People very quickly jump from let's all understand we're all one consciousness and therefore we should all love each other and all of that, to then vilifying the old perception that gave rise to the world that allowed them to even asking the question. Because if you would have to hunt all day for food and whatever, you wouldn't have time to contemplate all of this. The only reason you can is because you have so much free time on your hands. And the only reason you have so much free time on your hands is because the world that was built there, the infrastructure that was built there, based on a scientific method, so you get to do that. So I think we should feel grateful.
I understand where you come from this frame, because I mean, obviously something like what you've demonstrated in the space of the psychedelics is going to attract a lot of wooey kind of people stuck in a bullshit kind of imagination land, and I totally get it, but I also have some things that go against the grain ideas, and I don't do too well on a stage.
So let me first of all let me
talk one-on-one.
Sure. No. I understand it. So in that case, let me be a little bit more sensitive to the fact that you don't feel the most comfortable having this conversation in this format. So I'll tone down, like, because when I talk about these things, it's not personal for me. For me, it's more like we're kind of like exploring ideas together. But I'm in full awareness that I have a kind of like a strident style around it. So I'm gonna dial it down a little bit. Let's explore this a little bit from a softer frame. So from what I understand you saying is that your perception is that there's something that is being lost if we adopt the physicalist perspective. And all I'm saying back to you is that I don't think that's true. And it's not even a matter of choosing one of them over the other. It's just that in order to operate in a truly unified field kind of place, what is required is actually zero judgment and acceptance of all things for what they are. And the only course correction we should be offering the world is one that clearly doesn't benefit the current state or the goals that we have, right? So for example, you can say, well, I do think, for example, you can say things like, just to kind of play more into the frame that I feel you're presenting, I think it's fair to say, hey, by adopting the physicalist perspective, a lot of humans forgot that there is this connectedness to the present moment, to what nature is doing, and they think they are separate from the world. And because of that, they act as separate agents, which by definition means they act first according to what they want, without any thought about what the rest of the biosphere is trying to do, or the rest of the world is trying to do. And that would be a legitimate point. But then to that, I would say, okay, then maybe we can just slightly reframe and say, aside from the fact that there seems to be some kind of a regularity happening, the laws of physics, there must also be some connection through which we came into this world that is emanating from some core element, core aspect of what the world really is. In other words, it's consciousness. Yeah. And then that creates this link back into actually feeling what we're doing to nature, feeling how our actions impacting the world, versus just kind of like being completely indifferent to it. all of these are legitimate points. What I think I'm reacting more because I tend to think like in more like large general mega perceptions of people versus just like one individual saying something, because ultimately we're all sampling from this, you know, memeplex, like a infinite meme space, and the memes that are vitiating the majority of the internet are the ones that pull particular kinds of emotions in people. And I can't tell you how often I encounter people who, in the name of this connectedness and love and all of that, they very quickly all of a sudden turn into the hater, but they just hate something else that they just defined a second ago. And then I think this is why I'm trying to keep it neutral. So like nothing is really creating the separation. The separation is a moment of decision, like I said. But I do take your point that there might be frames that more reliably makes people feel like there's nothing to worry about aside from themselves. That I would agree with. Would that be a fair middle ground for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think everything you've said is fair. Other than like, yeah, and it is a choice that people are making in response to the input they're given from culture and the paradigm we live in now. And I'm not saying that it's the direct, like, causal and correlated. I guess put it aside. I'm not trying to hate on anyone or anything. I'm more interested in what limits us, and I think there's a great discovery to be made within the world, within the intuitive world, and that we are disconnected from that in large capacity for one reason or another. We're disconnected from our intuition, and as a people, as a species, I think, and I am interested in how to get back to that, not who to blame or what to blame, really.
I feel you. Yeah, I take that point. I agree with that. I do think that there's some things about ourselves that we need to look at much closer in order to get to the next level of our evolution. I agree with that. There's also actually my new show 0 to 1 is exactly about that. What do we need to change about ourselves to get to the next iteration of what we can be, even technologically? What's up, TikTok? Today right now we're kind of talking about this dichotomy between intuition and knowledge, I guess.
And when I came in here talking about love, it was just I was trying to think of like, what might the soul be and how does it connect to the brain? And I was just driving home from work and thinking about how it's, hormones and electrical signals and all that, but ultimately it's light in some kind of way, and it's some kind of, and maybe it can, the process in our brain happens and we experience it in our consciousness, maybe that experience of love or whatever it is comes out as a shape. And what I was trying to ask you is like, do you think maybe there's something there, and maybe the shapes, if there is a shape, maybe it has something to do with the shapes that you are seeing in your experiments? I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
an intuitive line of thought I was having in my car.
Yeah, the short answer.
That's mainly what I wanted to.
I appreciate that question. The short answer is no. I don't think it does. The whole thing with the code, and the reason that it's so weird, is that it seems to not be related to anything inside of your internal space. So like it doesn't matter how you feel, what kind of music you listen to, what vibrations are present. We tried a bunch of things. The code, it seems to be objective. It seems to be just there, which is different than most psychedelic experiences that might look objective, but they have some subjective components. Like they have some relationship to how you feel or things like this. The code doesn't seem to have that, which is why it stands out than all the other things. it is also the reason why it points to me to the fact that there is a thing that is not us, that is outside, that is truly out there. And it's not even, I would go as far as to say that it's not even the kind of thing that we are. So like it is truly separate. And not as an idea, but like truly is separate. So one of the things that I always try and bring back into the picture, not to make it as a final word about something. Oh, thank you so much, Prometheus. I appreciate you. This is for the gentleman living in Mexico. Oh, awesome. I will definitely transfer it. Thank you so much. We haven't done a person of need in a second because I was too busy jumping around, but I'll make sure that this gets to him today. Thank you so much, Prometheus. Prometheus just donated $20 to the person of need that we identified last month, Casey, and thank you so much. Where was I? Oh, so I guess what I'm trying to always bring back into the picture in the name of balance is that there is something that is lost when people decide that whatever feels to them strongly must be somehow fundamental or the case or anything like this. It almost like eliminates the error correcting mechanism, which is always very dangerous. And this has implications in practical terms because what's happening now is insane. Like people just, the way it feels to them, they think that's the state of affairs. Like they completely ignore what in fact is going on, right? And that, and in the name of this, because it comes from a good place, they're like, well, I just care. Okay. Well, you should care enough to actually check instead of just amplifying the signal that you think is true because it feels that way to you, right? Because then you might actually be propagating hate in the name of you feeling that maybe it's the right direction, but you don't really know. You didn't check. And it's so then but before like this is just on a practical level, but ultimately what it prevents. So I'll give you a specific example. We should absolutely be open to the as strongly as it feels, because I agree with you that fundamentally there's a unified field of some sort that connects all conscious beings. Sure. But I should at any time be open to the proposition that that's not correct. That actually the world is at bottom, the thing that makes you uncomfortable. The world at bottom is just a physical thing that doesn't care. And on top of it, there's some consciousness that arises. I'm not saying it's the case. I'm saying that if we truly want to stay on the middle path, we should always be open to the possibility that might be the case. And we should be okay with that if that is the case. Otherwise, we decided that we just want something to be true, and we're no longer open to anything that might come our way that prove to us that what we thought was true is not. And when people close themselves to these possibilities, it's not just something that is lost, I think, in just like a kind of like a, just like a local thing. I think that's actually can universally ruin a civilization. Like that's the thing that will ruin civilization. We should be open to all propositions. We want to know what's true, not what we want to be true. That's all I'm saying.
Can I add something to the concept of balance?
Sure.
So I came into this space as a pure scientist, right? So I was kind of dealing with a lot of like anxiety after the pandemic, and I thought I understood mechanistically what was happening in these spaces. And so as the experience was happening, I thought to myself, oh, my receptors are now activating and I feel really tired. And so I drank coffee. Then I kind of thought, oh, this is getting very intense. And I was dissecting every component of the experience as the onset was coming on as a scientist. And what these experiences with the space allowed me to do is it allowed me to let go of my thinking mind. And it kind of like, I felt like it activated my heart, like an intelligence from my heart, right? And it was this really amazing experience where I realized that I can just exist and there is an understanding in existing through your heart, right? But then when I hear this concept of like, well, the thinking mind or the scientific mind, right? Specifically the prefrontal cortex, is you're losing something when you live life that way. And I agree, you are. You're not connected to your heart. But if you're telling me that the way of living is purely through heart, you're not going to get anywhere, right? We're not going to have cell phones. We're not going to have the internet. We're just going to all be operating on vibes and memes. But there's this like balance between the thinking mind and the heart, right? And I think this ties into what Danny said a couple lives ago, which was the idea of like how do you search for truth, but like I guess it's like searching for truth like the Buddhists would, right? Which is like not getting too attached to the truth, but searching for it, right? And I think that's kind of a good balance between the mind and the heart.
First of all, I just want to say, was not trying to come off like I was like my little idea that I had in the car was somehow the truth. I just I'm more interested in like the nitty gritty of like how you came to the answer no, and experientially how do you know that the symbols don't have anything to do with what's going on internally, and not coming from a frame of, oh, well, you're generating the symbols, but how do you know that the symbols don't have anything to do with the human experience, I guess?
I said they don't. I said they don't seem to because we tried. People tried really hard.
How did you try? I'm just curious. Like
people that are really good at this kind of stuff, like people that are very spiritually connected, they can connect to other people through some kind of a other domain that I don't fully understand, but I know they have these abilities because I could feel it in my body. Like I know people that can literally connect and like make you feel something, or like just without speaking, just like they can emanate a certain kind of energy, and all kinds of like just people that are more connected to that whole realm. And some people that's their job. They like work with other people's energies and fix your chakras and all that good stuff. And they came in very, convinced. They're like, oh, just let me try. I'll send love to it, and I'll, nothing. It just does its own thing. It's almost like, so like you asking me a question the same as if you're looking through a microscope and then you see the microbes doing their thing. And you're saying, well, I think maybe these, whatever they are, the microbes, I think maybe they have some connections to our emotions. And I say, okay, well, try to influence it then. If it's connected to your emotions, when your emotions change, there should be some visible change that you can discern in the behavior of the microbes. Otherwise, there's no reason to assume they have a connection to your emotions. And the code in the laser is the same way. It's like it's not doing anything different. No matter how much you change the inside, no matter how much you try, it really looks like you're looking through a microscope. You're looking into a world that you've never seen before, but it's doing its own thing. It's almost like you're looking through a looking glass. You're just looking through a window into something else. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, but that's not even the frame that I was coming at it from. Maybe it doesn't have anything to do with your experience in real time.
Yeah, but then how are you discerning anything that way? Like if you're saying, I just want the idea that there's some connection to be true, but if you're not interested in testing it, then that's fine.
That's just not the way that I would envision testing it.
How would you test it?
This is gonna be. This is like, again, this is just intuitive line of thought off the deep end stuff. Sorry, so I apologize ahead of time. This sounds crazy, but like maybe like an fMRI 3D model of a human like emotion, and maybe finding the how the pattern might make a shape, and maybe some feelings produce a pattern that resembles a shape that might be in correlated with whatever this code is under reality, because it's not just the wall we're talking
So
about.
you're going the other way around. You're saying, what if when somebody observes the code, if we measure their brain, can we see a discernible change in the pattern of the brain as it's being read by some external device that reads the brain wavelengths? Correct.
Okay.
So like right now, I'm sitting with a device with a EEG, whatever functional MRI, and it's measuring my brain. Are you proposing that when we present the code to somebody who's doing that, maybe we can see some difference in the way their brain registers information? Is that what you're proposing?
No, I'm saying that maybe in the actual display on the fMRI, the shape that the feeling that how it manifests on the screen
Mm-hmm.
as a pattern, that and you might be able to render that artistically on a piece of paper, and then put that piece of paper to whatever you're seeing in the DMT, and it might resemble one of the symbols in the wall or whatever you're looking at.
Oh, I see. I highly doubt it, because these characters are simply not that kind of a thing. They don't.
Okay.
They're not obscure like this. But also, you got to get really specific. I understand what you're pointing to, but it's just not how science is done. Like you have to be super specific with what you mean. Like because you're saying a shape, okay, but that's going to be a representation on a screen that somebody decided to make it look that way. That's arbitrary. So if you're saying, well, there's a shape that matched the thing, that's not enough.
Well, you get an accurate representation of what the brain looks like when you're looking at fMRI, don't you? And the electricity or whatever it's like.
Right. But that's no. So but those don't look like shapes. They look like patterns, right? Like activation of different regions.
Yeah, and a part of my musing was that maybe these patterns over a time period manifest as a shape at some point. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean maybe, but I personally highly doubt it. That's just not that's not a thing I would put a lot of effort to try, because I think that's just not a. The interesting thing is that, and I understand and I appreciate the ideas, of course, but this is why we encourage anybody not to do it, but if they are seriously to engage with intuitive or unintuitive questions about it, they should at least see it first. Because after people see it, there's a lot of like, oh, okay, like okay, like you have to see what you're talking about. Like otherwise, you're just kind of guessing what it is.
Yeah, it's been a problem with access on both ends.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've been thinking about your whole thing for a while and what the hell I might propose to you, and this came to my head today, and I appreciate you.
No, I do appreciate it. Just
and I'll continue thinking on it and hopefully experience it soon.
Thank you so much. I do appreciate people that come up with ideas. I really do. Guys, I have to.
One thing I want to add to,
Yeah, go ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
One thing I want to add to that concept. So, I think you're talking specifically about fMRI, and the problem with fMRI is it gives you blood flow to portions of the brain, right, like the occipital lobe, etc. But it doesn't give you a micro perspective. So it'll show like a classical, like, oh, there's blood going to these parts of the brain. And they've done a lot of psychedelic studies with fMRI. But I think what's probably going to encode maybe any information will probably be like any like EEGs or any electro potential reading of the brain more locally. But I don't know if fMRI will be as insightful as you think.
Okay, that's good to know.
We did it with.
I think what I think fundamentally we disagree that the whatever this phenomenon is has nothing to do with us internally, but I do have to experience it myself.
So I didn't say that the phenomena has nothing to do with what we have internally. I'm saying that whatever you track as your inner space so far has not produced any result of change or measurable difference in what the code is doing. That we know pretty consistently across thousands of people now. So it's like it's a chunk of data. Like it's not nothing. So I would say that there's no reason to think that all of a sudden it will happen. I think that there might be some individuals that might be able to do it more, but I would say that people with pretty, for lack of a better term, strong powers failed. So something tells me it's just that's not that kind of a thing. And that's why I'm saying we might want to be comfortable with the idea that there is a physical world. Or at least there's this thing out there that isn't us. Maybe it's the canvas on which we're painted, but I don't know why people are uncomfortable with the idea that it's like I don't get it. Like I don't understand why it's a problem. Like what is the problem with you not being you?
It's not a problem. It's just counterintuitive.
Is it?
I'm not.
It's counterintuitive that the couch is not you.
But when you say, you know, they have powers, I think, well, maybe they don't have powers, or their powers aren't strong enough, or you know, maybe ultimately you're right, but
Wait, but it isn't counterintuitive to you that the wall and the couch and the lamp are not you?
That hold on. That whatever is being represented, does it look like? Does it look like when you look at it? Does it just look like when you look at a wall? Does it look like when you're looking at the code? Do you think, oh, this code represents the paint on the wall? Are you looking at, or does it represent that?
No, I think it might be representing something super fundamental in reality, not the paint of the wall. No.
See, that's right there. That's why it's counterintuitive, because I think our consciousness is representative of something fundamental to reality.
We don't know that. We don't know that. We don't know that. See, this is where it gets a little dicey. We don't know that. That's something that people repeat, but from a scientific standpoint, we do not know that. It makes sense. It makes sense to me. It clearly makes sense to you. But if I have to put like more of a rigorous hat, we don't know that. We don't know anything about consciousness. Not in any real sense. Like we know whatever we're experiencing is that's what we call it. But how it comes about, we know zero things about it. Zero things about it. So we know corollaries. We know that the brain is involved. Is it the same? Is it part of it? Is it receiving it? Is it fundamental and coming through the brain in the way that the brain looks like? They're all postulations. And if you're asking a scientific question, from a scientific standpoint, we have zero information about what consciousness is. So we don't get to just say, well, consciousness is also fundamental. First of all, we don't know that. Secondly, if even if it is fundamental, you don't know if there's other things that are also fundamental, but they're running alongside of one another. They're not necessarily on this level one thing. We don't know any of this. That's why I'm saying, like, we might be saying the same thing, but the approach, if we really want to probe it like from a serious way, the way that scientists usually do it, I'm open to the proposition that the inner space can influence it, but let's demonstrate it then. And so far, there was nobody could demonstrate it.
So I fully get why you are on kind of the side of rigor and realism here, but I would just encourage you to. I don't know what your team looks like, but if you could have one person who works on vibes alone, I think it's good to have one person.
We had a bunch of people. We had a bunch.
Way around this because
wait, but hold on. But I feel like it's a little weird because I just told you we had a bunch of people to do that. We had dozens.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is we had a bunch of people that came with that proposition and tried and failed.
Yeah.
So
well, it's not gonna happen overnight, too. I mean,
yeah, but there was zero difference. Like so, either they don't have the powers, or like you have to be able to demonstrate at least a little bit something to then continue in that direction.
Could you give me an example of one of the people, like how you felt that they had powers and how they demonstrated it, and just like an example of what they were about?
Super simple. People that are clearly, you identify them as people like either spiritual workers or people that are in that space, and they come across as authentic, or people that I've known for a long time, and I really know that they have these abilities. They help a lot of people. They pull people out of depression, out of chronic conditions, out of addictions. They know what they're doing. And I know because I've been in their presence, and there's a feeling in the room when they're in the room. So I know there's something going on. And then they try to like send love to it. They try to go into a meditative state, try to go into a trance. I had somebody trying to do it with breath work. No, like nothing happens. And again, I don't have I'm not married to either one of the ideas. I just, so far this was not demonstrated at all. Guys, I do have to abruptly end. I apologize because I have to take my dogs to the PARK. I can't say this word, otherwise they're gonna go nuts right now. But I do appreciate this conversation. Let's pick it up tomorrow. If you can come back tomorrow, that would be great. Thank you so much. Wait, did he just jump off? Oh, he did. Okay. Thank you so much, Nico. Chris, you came on but said nothing. You want to say a couple of words before?
I can pick up next time, man. At least you can hear me this time, I guess.
Yeah. So first of all, I see you coming on every time. And next time, just so you know, I really appreciate you being so patient. Oh, 01, that's you. I really appreciate being so polite. But next time, just so you know, I'm giving you that permission. Just butt in. Just make yourself audible, because very often I'm looking at YouTube and I'm not seeing who's.
You're telling me to be like you, an angry, white, 40-year-old man. Check. I'll do it.
All right.
That was a joke.
Right. Basically, we'll end with this racist comment. But feel free to come back tomorrow, and we can pick it up from whatever it is that we wanted to do. And that's it. I want to say deep thank you to all the people that are always joining and sharing their ideas. Thank you so much for our moderators. Thank you so much, Ebony and Jessica and Guru and Chris. I appreciate you guys. Chris, thank you so much for also all the gifts. Thank you for the contribution. I'm going to make sure that Casey gets it today. Thank you so much, Prometheus. If you guys want to follow me across platforms, it'll be Danny Goller on TikTok and Instagram. It'll be Goller Danny on X. It'll be LaserX83 on Twitch. And Dango Thoughts on YouTube. DANGO Thoughts on YouTube. You can join the membership program that gives you access to our weekly lives, aside from the daily lives. There we dive much deeper into topics and things like this. This is for members only. Gives you early access to all my content. And if you sign up from the second tier and up, you will get an invite to our monthly Zoom calls, which are a lot of fun. I highly recommend them. Just make sure you email me. The email will be listed when you sign up for the membership program, only if it's second tier and up. If you guys still want to donate to the film, feel free to do so. You can find the trailer for the movie on Dango Thoughts on YouTube, and then it's called The Discovery, and then you can find the link to our GoFundMe page, and you can donate there. And you can check out our website, codeofreality.com, codeofreality.com, which we our merch, our lasers, protocols, and everything else. Thank you so much. Did I forget anything? On Spotify, my show is called 0 to 1 with Danny Goller. You can go and find that and support. And please come join our Discord community. It's a beautiful community of people who talk about these topics. You can find a link to that on both my YouTube channel, on the main page, and on TikTok on my Linktree. There you go. Thank you so much for our community, old and new. I really appreciate you guys. And I will be seeing you tomorrow. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a good night. Peace and love. Ciao. Good night, guys.